The file number is 23873FY. Good morning, Mr. Smart. You were charged on a formal complaint with possession of methamphetamine and retail fraud. It was set for a pre-exam conference earlier this month, and you failed to appear. So I issued a bench warrant. I set a hearing regarding the forfeiture of your bond. You didn't show up for either hearing.
I tried to call. I did try to call, and I made an effort to get around.
Tried to call who?
I called the courthouse. Yeah, and they told me to get a hold of the lawyer. So
did you ever get a hold of your lawyer?
No, I guess he was busy with court.
I mean, before the day you were supposed to be here, did you ever call
him? No, I didn't get a hold of him. No.
Well, let's get this case back on track.
Okay. Okay, yes, sir.
When did you get arrested? Yesterday?
Yes.
Where did you get arrested?
In Benton Harbor. Or Niles. I'm sorry, Niles. And I was taken to Barry.
Your address is Pinehurst Road, Niles. Is that still accurate?
Yeah, but I wasn't staying there. I was homeless.
Okay. Is Pinehurst your parents' address?
So my family, it's just an address I can use for mail.
Okay, we'll use that. Well, I'm going to reset the pre-exam for next Tuesday, which is probably sooner than I should, considering this is Thursday, but you're going to be in custody. Set a pre-exam for 10 October 31 at 8:30, and prelim if needed for November 7 at 1. How did you get arrested? They just stopped you on the street and found there was an open warrant?
Yeah, they did I guess the officer knew the person I was getting a ride from, and he was out after curfew, and so they pulled him over, and lo and behold.
All right. Well, the way this works, when you're charged with a felony offense, you're supposed to contact your attorney and appear for court. A phone call saying, hey, sorry, I missed it, isn't sufficient. We actually started the process of forfeiting your bond with the surety company, hoping maybe the surety company would make some effort to pick you up, but apparently that didn't happen. Anyway, the bond was $2,500 cash or surety. Now it's $5,000 cash or surety. Mr. Gibson will come out to the jail to see you. Do you have any holds anywhere else?
No. I have court on the 31st in Elkhart. Just so the court knows. It's my responsibility to take care of that, but
what kind of charge is that?
It's just a misdemeanor, and it should be time served, in my opinion, but I don't really know.
Well, you seem like you're struggling a little bit this morning. I will notify Mr. Gibson that you're in custody. He can come see you prior to Tuesday's pre-exam conference. You do have prior drug charges on your record, which supplements the felony meth charge.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad to be locked back up. At least I got a place to live, and I was just sleeping outside. I just couldn't do it.
All right. Well,
I didn't have nothing to eat and nothing. So
well, let's get you 3 square meals and a bed and get your head on straight, and I'll talk to you. All right. I'll see you next Tuesday morning.
All right.
I have on some occasions over the years put homeless people in jail in January for things they otherwise would get released for because they didn't know where to go. They might have got 30 days when they would have gotten 7 or something, but he doesn't seem to be too upset about it. And we'll get him squared away by Tuesday. Good morning, Ms. Sullivan.
Good morning.
This is a revisit to Alexis Page Sullivan. I asked Mr. Stickley to come in. He's our chief public defender. He was in the court next door, and I asked him to come over here for this arraignment. Keith, this is a probation violation arraignment. Autumn Kiefer is here with us. Alexis is a nice young woman with one of the worst alcohol problems of a 20-year-old that I've seen in my career. She was here yesterday for a probation violation arraignment, and she was a .1111. So I couldn't do the arraignment because she was legally intoxicated. So I found her in contempt and lodged her overnight. And presumably you haven't had anything to drink since I saw you yesterday. She's not malicious. She just can't help it. But I don't know what to do with her. So let's go into the case, and we'll start with the arraignment that we were going to do yesterday. The original ticket was from February of 2020. She was arrested for operating while intoxicated and no license in possession. She was placed on probation for 24 months. And I'm not sure what that date that began, but Autumn filed a probation violation petition alleging that she has violated probation by continuing to test positive, and then we're very troubled this month, well, in August, she tested positive for methamphetamine. And then she was a no-show on 9/1, 9/7, 9/13, 9/12. And so Autumn filed a probation violation petition, which alleges that she violated the probation that she was placed on July 10th for failing to abstain from the use of alcohol or drugs or submit to a test upon demand of any officer. Well, she did take our test yesterday. I had sentenced her to 24 months probation, 93 days jail, credit 10, and I let her out. I deferred 83 days and held them over her head and wanted her to participate in treatment. And I was very troubled, and Autumn is, that we're transferring alcohol addiction to methamphetamine addiction. Autumn's recommendation, as she shared with you, is that I give her the 83 deferred days of jail. But as you know, under the new statute on probation, you're supposed to use intermediate steps, and for a technical violation, we're supposed to start with 5 days and continue. That doesn't mean the court doesn't have discretion, but I'm concerned for her safety and well-being. Autumn, how is she doing in the other areas of her probation?
I have not received an assessment or updated treatment from Pivotal since the end of September. So initially they wanted her to complete IOP level, and she had stated that she was unable to complete that level of treatment. They were supposed to do outpatient therapy. So I'm not even sure if she's been attending that. She reports, but it takes me a few days to get a hold of her. And as stated, she's not testing, claims that she constantly can't pay. Well, if she's not.
Well, if we had her in treatment, we could pay for it, can't we?
Some of it, not all of it.
All right. So Alexis, the allegation is that you violated your probation by consuming alcohol or refusing to test, up to and including yesterday when your breath test results were 0.11. You have a right to have an attorney to represent you in this matter and have a hearing on it. You don't get a jury trial for a probation violation, but you are entitled to have a hearing where it must be established beyond a preponderance of evidence that you violated your probation. And then the question is, what do I do as a sentence? You could admit to the violation and then we can figure out what happens next, or you can plead not guilty and I'll appoint an attorney for you and set it for a hearing.
I'll plead guilty.
All right, let me ask you a couple questions. Anybody threaten you to get you to plead to this
No.
or promise you anything other than what I just said?
No.
All right, where are you staying?
Patriot and in the house.
Do you have any source of income?
Yeah, I go to work.
Where do you work?
McDonald's.
All right, you're still at McDonald's.
Yeah.
That's one positive that's going on in your life. Which McDonald's are you at?
The one in Sturgis.
It's very expensive to stay at those motels. How much are you paying to stay at the Patriot Inn?
$336 a week.
Holy moly. That's like $1,500 a month. You could get a nice apartment for that. What support system do you have? Do you have any family here? Are you sharing the room with anybody else?
My fiance.
Does he help pay the rent?
Yeah.
What you really need is to be an inpatient someplace. But I don't know what to do. What I would like to do is get updated information from Pivotal on what's going on with
I
your.
just sent him an email.
All right. Our fear, Autumn and I discussed this yesterday, and if I let you out, you're just going to drink again.
No.
Well, you say that now, but if it was that easy, you just quit. And so it isn't that easy.
Your Honor.
Yes.
When I went to jail yesterday, at first I was like, okay, I'd rather do the jail time because I wouldn't have to be stuck paying a bunch of fines and everything, but I'd do anything to stay out of that place.
Well, I can deal with the fines. I can erase a lot of them. I can alter them. You're on probation, so the judge has the authority to alter or amend the sentence. This isn't about money. It's about trying to get you into some sort of recovery. Because I'm not sure how you get through every day with the amount of alcohol that you drink. There's an underlying cause of why you drink like this, which is what I was trying to get at and help you get at to address it. But it's awfully presumptuous of some old guy like me to tell a 23-year-old, hey, you can't drink anymore, or your life's going to be one of unhappiness and dissipation. Somebody told me that when I was 23. I probably wouldn't have listened very carefully either. So I'm not mad at you at all. I'm just concerned. And Mr. Stickley came in here completely cold, but he does know the probation violation. Rules under the statute that changed several years ago. And as I said, I have discretion to do what I want to do. But if I just give you 83 days in jail, it'll keep you safe and the public safe for 83 days minus good time. But it won't do anything to deal with your issues. So Autumn, I know your recommendation was 83 days and nothing happened yesterday to really improve things. Is there anything else you wish to add?
I understand that we can't jail someone into sobriety, but we've done nothing on this probation. She told me beginning of October that on the 12th that she was thinking about turning herself into a mental health facility. Unfortunately, right now, it's just all talk. So at this point, I feel that if she's pleading guilty, I appreciate that she understands that she has violated this probation. I feel she needs the deferred time. And while she's in there, we can get her set up with Lisa Onatelli, and she can possibly get some help that she needs, and we can get this ball rolling to her recovery. Otherwise, I'm afraid that if she gets out, she's going to drink herself to death.
Mr. Stickley, I do appreciate the fact you're here on short notice and you're not actually representing her. You're here in an advisory capacity, but do you have any thoughts on this?
I do, Your Honor. Off the record, I mean, we have talked, even though it was, coming in a bit cold, and it's obvious that she needs help, and what form of help that she's willing to do, I guess, is the big question. She doesn't want jail. She told me that. She's told the court that. And it is super concerning, obviously, when the addictions change into something different like methamphetamine. I would ask, if any way possible, knowing that the court does have discretion, and it is a technical violation. I'm assuming that this is the first technical violation. I haven't had.
No,
it's not the first technical.
No, she showed up once in court. She was a 243.
Okay, so we're on number 2 then, I guess.
Or yes, at least.
So I think we're in the range of, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think 14 or 15 days on a second technical. Maybe if the court was inclined to impose a jail sentence, maybe a sentence within those technical guidelines of perhaps 15 days would maybe allow her to sober up enough or have some clean time enough to readdress maybe the possibilities of some other kind of either IOP or inpatient. I'm always nervous the day after somebody comes in and they do have a BAC, as you had mentioned, right? We don't know maybe exactly how clearly they're thinking.
Well, Alexis, when did you last talk to anybody from Community Mental Health?
I haven't talked to him since September. Because the whole court thing, I kept thinking I was going to have court next week. Then it got moved, and then I had car issues. Couldn't go to Three Rivers and drug test twice a week. Could barely get to work. It was just so stressful.
Well, and I understand that the logistics of testing are difficult for people that don't have a lot of money and don't have a lot of resources. When I was prosecutor in my earlier years as judge, I made a significant effort to have a testing site in Sturgis. At one time, we had a day reporting center, pretty vigorous. We had a couple of people there, and we had a testing center in Sturgis for people from Colon and Burr Oak and Sturgis that was easier to get there. And then it got diminished, and then we used some money to set up a little testing thing, and then we had it just for women, and then it just collapsed. And the day reporting center is much, much smaller than it was, but it's in Three Rivers. So we may, in the future, I don't know where we're headed, but at one time we had testing in Sturgis. It's also gotten considerably more expensive. If you're in treatment, we can pay for some of it. But my biggest concern is you need community mental health or other treatment involvement, or nothing's going to change. You're going to do 83 days in jail. You're going to have a drink on the day you get out because you're killing the pain without addressing what's causing the pain. On Monday, October 30th, I have 3 young women, 2 of whom will probably come into sobriety court. You could certainly use sobriety court, but you're not eligible under our guidelines because you don't have 2 drunk driving convictions. So I'm not saying, hey, go get arrested for drunk driving again, and then I'll put you in the program. You need that that's the best I got, is an intensive supervision with Autumn, with treatment, with support groups like AA or NA or Celebrate. Meet with me, you're in our private group. And I got a letter from a lady this week who was in my sobriety court program 12 years ago. She's still sober. She's still going to AA, and she wanted me to know about that. I got an email yesterday from one of my sobriety court guys who emails a couple times a month, telling me it changed his life, and not only his life, but all 5 people in his family's lives. So you need something like that rather than just jail. As Autumn says, we've learned you can't jail somebody into sobriety. So I'm going to set this for sentence. I want to get more information from CMH. You're probably going to lose your job, which I'm sorry about. If you're in jail between now and Monday, even if I let you out Monday, you may lose it. If you get 14 days, you're going to lose it. I'm not concerned about you losing your room at the Patriot Inn because that kind of housing sucks. It's $1,500 or $1,600 a month, where if you could get a legitimate rental, it would be considerably cheaper than that. But, and certainly if you get 83 days in jail, they might hold your job for you. I'm going to be busy, but there's some people you could also meet that are in the same boat as you are. I think I might be bringing 2 sisters into the program at the same time. All right. The technical violation would be at least 5 days. I'm going to set this matter for sentencing for Monday, October 30th. We're going to get an update from Community Mental Health. But if you don't want to do it, I'm not going to make you.
No, I do.
All right.
I don't want to go back to jail.
All right. Well, you think about it for a while. Well, I'll talk to you on Monday. All right. You're good to go. All right. Thank you, Keith. Monday, well, you know who's set for Monday, so we're going to have our hands full on Monday morning.